My name is Owen Smith, and this is my video on the RLM project. And I did my project over John Collins. He is a supervisor at the 911 Hancock County Dispatch Center, like I said, in Hancock County. And John Collins has been a supervisor there for about 10 years. He has worked there over 18 years now. He started in 2000 and has worked there ever since. He has won multiple awards by being a Dispatcher of the Month in the community. It's an award that is voted on by his coworkers and by people like first responders, the police chief, and stuff like that. So he has won that, the Dispatcher of the Month award. He is a father of four. He is a volunteer firefighter for the Charlottesville Fire Department, which is in Hancock County. And then he is also a big fan of sports, goes to a lot of sporting events in the Hancock County area because that's where he grew up and that's where his kids go. And so that is what he does. And John Collins is purposeful in his work. He empowers his employees while remaining ethical in order to serve the community one phone call at a time. Starting off with being purposeful, he is very collaborative and believes that collaboration is important. He has team meetings. He wants to be collaborative between his team, himself, and the community with a lot of first responders. He has meetings that start at the beginning of every shift and make sure that the floor is open. He is open for suggestions by each of his employees, and also brings in the first responders to do so as well. It's a very collaborative office. They are, like I said, they strive for being collaborative. Open door policy for the office, and he treats his employees more as friends, not employees. He'll bring them coffee, pick up the tab on breakfast, helps out in those areas, and really just wants to, stress the importance of being collaborative and treating your friends or treating your employees more as friends, not just employees. He is very empowering and empowers his employees. Like I said, he's worked there for 18 years and he's very skilled in what you do as a dispatcher. And he made a comparison to a basketball coach where he said, if a basketball coach never played basketball or has any experience in managing a basketball team prior, then he's going to lose the trust in his players. So he wants to keep the trust with his employees by knowing that he can still go get on a call and, do things the right way. And he has that experience. He believes that everybody should contribute. He thinks that everyone's opinions should be treated at the same level as his. Of course, he's kind of the decision maker, but he empowers his employees to be able to share their opinions. And like I said, does that through the team meetings and makes sure to bring in people from the community to do that. He encourages others to speak up if they see something wrong with his leadership style, if they have a suggestion for something to be done better. He makes sure that the floor is open for those suggestions. And then I found this in my research. According to Ajit Chahuri's 2016 journal about understanding empowerment, it says that empowering has become the answer to most problems. And that's what I really saw with John's office there at the Hancock County Dispatch Center, was that empowering his employees, there's not a whole lot of issues because he does empower them, and they fix all their problems by being able to do that. He keeps his employees skilled, and then he keeps them up to date on the most recent tactics, or making sure they have the most recent technology in an effort to really help empower his employees. He's also ethical and believes that this is the most important thing. In our interview, when we talked about being ethical and all that, this was the most serious that he got. He made sure to, send home the point that being ethical is the most important thing you can do in any business, but especially when you're serving the community. him and his employees work for the community. He makes sure that everyone in the office is ethical, and he makes sure that he remains ethical, but he also wants them to be ethical outside of the office as well. You may not know who your dispatchers are in your community, but he still wants them to remain ethical, just in case they do know, and to represent the Hancock County Dispatch Center at all times. He wants them to stay authentic, be trustworthy. He does that through his leadership, and he wants them to do that as followers and as employees of his. And he thinks that they are better people because they do serve the community in an ethical way. And he thinks just by being ethical, by being authentic and trustworthy, that these people are better people at the end of the day. And I found this kind of closely related to some research that I had done on Joseph Hester and Don Killian's 2010 journal, The Moral Foundations of Ethical Leadership. They talked about the idea of serving others and building and working relationships. The organization will inevitably experience positive growth. So, they serve others, they serve each other, and John seems to do this with his leadership, but also with those in the community. As for advice, he said to lead as you would want to be led, but to also understand that there are differences between people's leadership styles, and just to adapt to that. In conclusion, John is purposeful. He empowers his employees and remains ethical and serves the community one phone call at a time. And I had a great time being able to talk to him. Thank you.